Earth is a place of change. Recent studies suggest that changes in the global environment may be occurring at an unprecedented rate, affecting not only the plants and animals that share life on Earth, but the quality of human life as well. Until recently, global environmental change research focused primarily on natural sciences, like changes in climate patterns and ozone depletion. But now there is a growing realization that scientific research must examine both naturally occurring events and human activity, like population changes, energy production and consumption, pollution, and disease. This new facet of global change research includes what is called the human dimensions of global change. Finding solutions to many of the Earth's problems will require a clear understanding of this combined impact of natural and social forces. Scientists, policymakers, resource managers, and all the people of the world will need to share global change information to achieve long-term sustainable development. Shared knowledge is essential for critical decision-making, helping to meet the need to establish information networks and facilitate access to, use, and understanding of global change information worldwide is CIESIN, the Consortium for International Earth Science Information Network. As a consortium, CIESIN draws upon the expertise of universities, nonprofit research organizations, government agencies, foundations, and even other private corporations to create an electronic library of global change information. With headquarters in North America, CIESIN is one of 9 distributed data centers for the Earth Observing System, a network of remote sensing satellites and instruments being deployed by the United States National Aeronautics and Space Administration. The Chief Executive Officer of CIESIN is former astronaut Jack Lausma.
Well, of course, global environmental change is global. It's happening all around the world, and the Earth is a system, and what happens in one place affects what happens in another place, and what people do to it in one place affects what it does to people in another place. And so we can't think of our own little local areas with respect to environmental management. We have to think of the whole world in a global sense. And this is why it's important for CIESIN to be international. And of course, with electronics the way we have them these days, and the ability to hook up to networks and databases from around the world with satellite communications and with fiber optics and all the other great communications capabilities we have, and with the computing systems that we have and the great speed within them today, a researcher on the other side of the world can have access to CIESIN's databases and can have access to others in other localities. But CIESIN will retain responsibility for access to data that's worldwide, it's international, and this will allow the international community then to be involved with it. From space you can see all the colors of the world. You can see the blues of the ocean and the white of the clouds and the snow on the mountains, and you can see the beautiful green and brown patchwork of the farmers' fields and the painted deserts and all their living hues of reds and purples and browns are so much more vivid because you have that faraway perspective and all that contrast of color, and the world looks like a map or a globe. The one thing, of course, that you can't see on this map or globe below as you're going over it very rapidly are the boundaries that separate the countries, those red and black lines that separate people from each other, and we realize that they were placed there by man's inhumanity to his neighbor. They weren't originally there when the world was made. And we have an ideal sense that wouldn't it be ideal if we could relate to one another around the world without those boundaries, much as we relate in economic terms and in political ways and in sociological ways without those boundaries, much the way we see the Earth physically from space.
Getting a broad range of interdisciplinary global change information into the hands of scientists throughout the world is an important CIESIN goal. Jack Eddy is the chief scientist for CIESIN.
Most of us think of science as composed of subjects like biology or geology or oceanography, atmospheric science. If you were, though, to ask the Earth, and if it could speak, how is your geology today. It would say, you know, my what? I don't know what that is. To the Earth, it's all hooked together. There's a saying that if you pull up any part of the Earth, you'll find its roots entangled with all the rest. It was by John Muir. We need to understand the Earth as a system, forgetting for the moment the bounds of the disciplines. That means it requires interdisciplinary collaboration, that a biologist has to stand alongside a political scientist or an oceanographer or an economist who looks at the whole problem. For 100 years in higher learning, we've gone in exactly the opposite direction.
Working to create pathways of understanding is CIESIN, the Consortium for International Earth Science Information Network.